your home for over 17 years of horse racing action. The Sport of Kings, featuring Tommy Walski. On today's show, we'll meet hard-working Rob Gilker. Stephanie catches you up on all the news. Our race of the week is the John Longden 6000, featuring guest host Archie McDonald. We'll go into the jock room to ask the jockey. Our salute to the champions, the 2008 Belmont Stakes. And now here he is, BC's ambassador to the world of horse racing, Mr. Tommy Walski.
Hello everybody and welcome to this edition of the Sport of Kings. And joining me is our guest host for today, former Vancouver Sun racing columnist and sports columnist, the well-renowned Archie McDonald. Archie, welcome to the show.
Tommy, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
Let's carry on. Now it's time for that opening segment. And here, as with any other racetrack, there's something always cooking when you visit the backstretch. Here it's families. And without a family, there wouldn't be horse racing, because this is a sport that's all about a family affair. Let's visit with one of those trainers, Rob Gilker.
I was forced into it through child labor through my parents. Actually, more my sister and brother were forced into it. I'm the only one that kept on with it. My dad was a trainer. We'd come down to the racetrack and Lansdowne. I'd get hung on the hot walker behind some horses, and they'd walk around and I'd keep them going if they wanted to stop. I actually did computers and stuff through high school and stuff. I was kind of into that and doing a lot of programming and stuff. Silly me, I decided that it was taking too much time to do all that kind of work, hours of the day, so I picked something else that took longer to do, and that seems to be horses.
Having a family in the business, did it make it easy for you?
It's nice having my wife to gallop the horses and take care of the horses. She gives me so much information, it's ridiculous.
It's a twofold job for her. How does she combine them all?
It takes a lot of dedication, because she's a mother as well. She takes care of the horses as well as before Shane came along as well, so she's just working both ends of the clock continuously.
He's always at the races with you. How important is it to have him involved?
He converts a lot of people into liking kids, I know that. There's been people that would see him and, little kids, they'd stay away from little kids, but he wins them over.
By having children on the racetrack with their families, is that the next, you hope that's the next generation? Because eventually we're going to need a new generation.
Yeah, there's not too many replacements coming up. Like I replaced my father, and Barb Heads and the Andersons are around because of their parents, and we don't see too many of them around. Most of them want to be agents now. A lot of hard work to training a horse, a lot of time put in.
How valuable is for your stable that you are a blacksmith?
I like to think it's pretty important. That's 25 years of a lot of experience doing a lot of people's horses. I've learned from most of the trainers down there. I've shod for just about everybody there, and they've all given me some insights on taking care of animals.
A typical day for a trainer?
Currently we're starting, the alarm clock goes off at 4:45, and the first horse is on the racetrack at 5 o'clock. We live 3 minutes away, so we can sleep in a bit to 4:45. I don't know what the people in the valley have to do. We're there all day long. The horses get left alone basically between 1 and 3. Back to feeding at 3:30. The stalls start getting done again. The horses checked over again. And I feed their dinner 4:30 to 5:30.
Tough journey to get where you are?
Oh, for sure. Years and years went by where nobody noticed us, and we just kept on training our own horses. We've always had our own horses as well. First, Mr. White talked me into taking horses. I wasn't publicly training. I was shoeing horses for the whole time as well for a lot of barns. I shot a lot of horses down there. And Lynn White came along, and after Roy Rawson passed away, talked me into taking his horses, which developed quite nicely into the business we have now.
Rob, when you're first starting out as you did, you and Vicki, you're using your own money. I mean, how tough has that got to be? You're raising a family, putting your own money up, and you're trying to make a living. Tough?
Oh, it's very tough. It was very, very expensive. We've had some horses that were good quality horses that had to be retired that we had a lot of money into, but you've got to do right by your horses. So I guess that's where we are today because of it. But I know it's been tough to swallow some of these, you know, $10,000, $15,000 losses.
The high-priced horses, how do you go about getting one? I'm talking about the $50,000 horse among them that you recently claimed. Was there pressure when you took the horse?
Bank Emblem's the horse you're talking about, but he, I don't know if there's really any pressure in it. I mean, you see a horse that's running very well and liking the smaller racetracks in Calgary, and we expected him to like this one here. We've watched him train, and looks like a beautiful horse. They've brought in some pretty nice horses, Kinsella and Troy and Glenn Todd, but to claim a $50,000 horse, the pressure's probably more on the owner to put up the money. Selecting them, there's some pretty nice horses around to select if you can get somebody that's enthusiastic enough to put up the money. I want horses that the owners can have fun with. They're coming to have fun at the races, watch their horse run, be a contender. So you want to be able to get a horse that can run back in races that will go. Not every condition that a horse that is offered fills. A lot of those races don't fill. Sometimes you have to look lower, but if it's a competitive horse, you know, people want to have fun. It's about getting in that winner's circle and cashing tickets on their horses.
You've invested a lot into the sport. What are you hoping to see down the road for horse racing in general in British Columbia?
Hopefully we see the pendulum swing back where people want some action for their money. Anytime I've gone into a casino and I watch people sitting playing blackjack and they're playing 3 or 4 hands in front of them and they're resting their heads, their chins in their hands, betting hundreds of dollars and not changing any expression. Gosh, all they have to do is come and bet $5 on a racehorse and be part of the action coming down the lane, cheering it on. It's such a rush. I wish people would rediscover that it's actually fun.
Which brings the point, what do you enjoy about training? What's the enjoyment of training?
I guess being in front, coming down the lane. It's an awful, awful rush that we're hooked on.
Don't go away. The Sport of Kings. We'll be right back. And now, to get you up to date with all the happenings in and around the track, let's saddle up with our own Stephanie Mercier.
This year's Breeders' Cup, arguably the biggest event in North American horse racing, is going to get an unprecedented amount of TV coverage. The Breeders' Cup will be held over 2 days again this year. The fillies and mares will run on Friday, October 24th, and the boys on Saturday. For the first time, ABC has announced they'll be covering over 2 hours of the event, and ESPN will show all of Friday's female races. It adds up to about 9 hours of coverage. This is a first for the Breeders' Cup and good news for race fans across the continent. While watching the races last week, I noticed something funny. Between each race, the gate crew seems to disappear. So we thought we'd follow them and find out what they get up to when they're not loading horses. Joe, what's going on here?
Well, this is a little bit between race time right now. We got our head chef, Sam Robinson, one of the big guys behind the gate, doing a little cooking of burgers for today's delicacy. This is what we do between the races the odd time. We have the meals. Sometimes it's steak, sometimes it's chicken. Today it's burgers. That's how us gate crew stay our physically fit, good self here.
How long have you been doing this for?
This has been going on for 20 years. We've cooked everything from a turkey, from ham to roast, everything on the barbecue. It's down here. It's you can get anything you want.
How did you cook a turkey?
Actually, we had a big rotisserie. It took us about 6 hours, but we did the whole job, so it was quite nice.
Have you guys ever missed loading into the race?
We've been a little tardy, a little late. We had to run for it, but the food didn't get burned. That was the main thing.
How do the jockeys like it?
Oh, the jockeys love the smell. Unfortunately, they can't have anything to eat, but it kills them when they come around the turn. They smell that steak cooking or burgers or something. They're hungry all the time, those guys, so it kills them.
One local favorite, True Metropolitan, raced last Saturday at Woodbine in the Grade 3 Eclipse Stakes. True Metropolitan took on some great competition, including Alessandro and Stirwins. The field of 6 won a mile in 16th for $150,000, and True Metropolitan put up a great victory. Let's catch up with them on the stretch drive.
They're at the top of the stretch, and True Metropolitan. Stirwins is flying out wide. True Metropolitan, left-handed urging. Stirwins will try to reel him in the final eighth of a mile. McElhaney riding the hair off True Metropolitan. Stirwins on the outside, trying to get to the champion. They're coming down to the line. True Metropolitan, a championship performance in the Eclipse.
Last show, we told you apprentice rider Juan Carlos Gutierrez had his first win at Hastings. Well, Juan Carlos got his second win last week, but unfortunately, he also got a broken collarbone when he was thrown from good thinking after winning the race. His trainer, Wayne Snow, says he'll be out 4 to 6 weeks. After the major upset in the Belmont Stakes last weekend, we thought we'd ask fans here at Hastings their thoughts on Big Brown.
He should have never ran. Should have never ran. You could tell he was injured right from the start. People bet a lot of money on him, and they should have never even touched him. Yeah, I didn't bet him.
He shouldn't have run.
How come?
Well, obviously the pressure of winning the big race forced him to run the race, run the horse in the race that he wasn't well enough to go. There's no doubt about it.
Big Brown had a hoof crack, and they shouldn't have run him. I guess because he's going to get the big prize money, he wants to name the horse. He should have saved him and took him out the stud.
He's still Big Brown. Still Big Brown. With all this Big Brown, it's just not a time for somebody else, you know? But otherwise, Big Brown is just Big Brown.
That covers this week's news in horse racing. From trackside, and we do mean trackside here at Hastings, I'm Stephanie Mercier, and now you're back on track.
Hi, I'm Andy Dunn with the Vancouver Canadians Baseball Club. Come on out and see us this summer at Nat Bailey Stadium, and you're watching The Sport of Kings.
Time to get a heads up from Hastings' own Mike Heads.
Tomorrow's feature event is the $50,000 Strawberry Moor, named after one of the greatest race mares to ever run here at Hastings, bred right here in the province by Aubrey and Jenny Roberts. And we've got another talented filly looking like the favorite for this race, Holy Nova, pretty comfortable winner in her first 2 stakes events. And I think she's going to be a better filly as they stretch out, and a mile and a 16th should suit her to a T. She will get some competition from Alpine Garden and Napa. We'll see how the weights play into a factor. We watched Big Brown go down to defeat, so you know even the best of favorites can get defeated, but definitely I'm going to go with Holy Nova to defeat Alpine Garden and Napa. Handicapping contests are always popular, and we've got one coming up very soon. Saturday, June 21st is the beginning of the West Coast Handicapping Challenge. It pits the best from Golden Gate Fields, Emerald Downs, Hollywood Park, as well as our best here from Vancouver. And you can win a lot of prizes, so do get in on the West Coast Handicapping Challenge.
And now, sports fans, it's time to ask the jockey.
Who's your favorite jockey?
My favorite jockey is Tony Cruz, and because he's a lot of time leading rider, and now he's turning to a trainer, and he's a very, very good trainer in Hong Kong.
Chris McCarron. Well, I like Dave Wilson because he's a smart rider. He's got patience and he's a nice guy.
Ismael Mosqueira.
I like Alex Solis because I think he's a very good rider. I like the way he rides because he usually is very patient when the horses, and he likes to ride horses from off the pace.
Chris McCarron. I've thought through the years, all the guys I've raced with, the guy has an amazing recall and awareness of what's going on and what they've done.
Fernando Toro. I think he was one of the greatest guys and gentlemen, and he helped anybody in the morning, and it was just awesome guy, and he took me under his wings when I started riding his apprenticeship in Santa Anita. So I think I was one of my favorite riders.
Favorite jockey is Jimmy Fortune. I guess he's my favorite because he's a graceful rider, he's forceful, and he really understands pace really well. And I've learned a lot from him.
Hey, horse racing fans, it's time now for Sport of Kings trivia, and here is today's trivia question. We go back to 1913. This horse pulled the biggest Kentucky Derby upset of the last century. It went off at 91-1 odds, won the race, set a track record at the time. Name that horse. We'll have the answer for you in just a minute. Don't go away. The Sport of Kings. We'll be right back. Time now for the answer to today's trivia question. Back in 1913, the biggest upset in the Derby set by Donerail, a record that stood, by the way, only 1 year. The next year in the Derby, Old Rosebud set a new record in Kentucky.
Our race of the week is the $50,000 Johnny Longden Stakes. It's named after Hall of Fame rider, the legendary Johnny Longden, who our co-host, our guest host, Archie McDonald, is familiar with. Archie, a little about Johnny.
Johnny Longden came here in 1965 to ride a 6,000 winner. At that time, he was the winningest jockey in the world. He'd surpassed Sir Gordon Richards of England, and it was probably a landmark event in the history of this track. He was well known throughout North America, and the fact that he chose Hastings Park to ride a 6,000 winner was very significant. And he came a few days before this 6,000 winner and rode the week leading up to his ultimate 6,000 win on Prince Scorpion. And to put it into context, 40 plus years ago, jockeys had a much higher profile than they do now. Everybody who read the sport pages knew Eddie Arcaro, they knew Willie Shoemaker, they knew Willie Hardtack, and they certainly knew Johnny Longden. And so it was a big event here.
How was he around the media?
Oh, he was excellent. Yes, he was truly excellent. And there was quite a contingent of media here. There was somebody, the sports editor of the San Diego Union was here. Sports Illustrated had a writer here, and Weekend magazine covered it, and plus all the local media. And he couldn't be better. No, he was a wonderful media personality.
He loved the jocks room.
He did. Yeah, he just loved racing. He loved everybody. He would, he had no pretensions. He would go down the back stretch and talk to everybody.
His last race, the San Juan Capistrano, which we're watching right now, a little about your thoughts on that one.
Well, it was a remarkably happy coincidence that the best horse bred in Western Canada, George Royal, and the most famous rider, Johnny Longden, would hook up for their last ride, for Johnny's last ride. And he said, win or lose, this is going to be my last race. And George Royal wasn't as good as he had been the year before. I think he was nearly 7-1. And but Johnny said, win or lose, this is it. And it was a remarkable race. George Royal and Plaque came down the stretch head and head, and I think the winning margin was about 1.5 inches. So it was truly a major event in BC racing. And we haven't, I don't think we've had a horse as good as George Royal since.
No, we haven't, not at all. So what do you say we watch the Johnny Longden race right now? Shall we watch it right now?
Let's do that.
Got it.
Sir Gallivic is owned by Glenn Todd and Patrick Kinsella. Sir Gallivic is the reigning Premier's champion and will appreciate the stretch out today.
He's doing fine. He'll run a little better going around the ground. A little short last time. That's not really his game. So we'd look to him to run a lot better this time. So
Bank Emblem is owned by Leo and Norma Shaw. Bank Emblem has done nothing but win this season and is a perfect 3 for 3.
He's got plenty of speed, and the rider we've got on, Davey Wilson, he's really good at getting to relax, so maybe we can carry that speed for the whole mile 16th.
Spaghetti Mouse is owned by Nick and Pauline Felicella. Spaghetti Mouse loves running long, and he would love to go an extra 2 furlongs if he could.
He's been training really good. He's, relaxing because we had training for sprints the last 2 races. Now we're going back and training relaxed. Yeah.
Okashata is owned by Mike Boylan in TD Stable. Okashata's hoping to return to his winning ways today, and he'll be coming at the end.
He's had a great winter. We've got 1 prep into him where he came running, finished strong, and we're real happy with our rider. He's got a knack with the horse where he's able to have him settled early and have him finish.
Lord Vic is owned by Pumpkin Stable, Jay Canauer, Joe D'Onofrio, and T. Klein. Lord Vic has been training very well for the Longden, but he has picked a tough spot today.
You know, he run good the first start, and we thought we'd go ahead and just give him a shot in there. He's packing quite a bit of weight for a horse that, you know, that win for 8.
Chicane is owned by Bellevue Oaks. Chicane seems to get better with age. He's packing bullet workouts coming into his 2008 season debut.
How's he to ride?
Very smooth horse. One of the best horses I ever sit on. Possibly the best horse, I think.
B.R. Remark is owned by D. Hughes, F. Aichi, Taylor, and Louis family stables. B.R. Remark is the champion sprinter at Hastings, but can he carry his speed over the added distance?
The $64,000 question is going long. And Troy's horse is going to be tough. Sagalovic, Spaghetti Mouse is better going long. You know, he ran second and third this spring, you know, going short when they stretch him out. You know, he's made $500,000 more, you know, going long. So after this, we'll turn him out for a couple of weeks and bring him back for a BC Cup sprint.
And now, let's enjoy this strong field going 1 1/16 in the John Longden 6000.
Here they go. They've all come away well. The field is 7. Sent on the way in the John Longden 6000. Bank Emblem right on the early lead. Spaghetti Mouse with early speed. Rushing up on the outside now. Here's Lord Vic. Ukashata, Sir Galovic, 5th at the rail. B.R. Remark, Chicane is the early trailer. 7 off the lead. Midway on the turn now there. 3 abreast. Bank Emblem. In between runners, Spaghetti Mouse. Widest of all is Lord Vic. 2 lengths back is B.R. Remark in between runners. Sir Galovic to his inside. Ukashata 6th on the outside. Chicane is 7th. The opening quarter, 24-1. Under the line now, Bank Emblem shows the way by a nose. Right there on the outside. Lord Vic second now by 1.25 lengths. Spaghetti Mouse in 3rd. Sir Galovic skims the rail in 4th. B.R. Remark, Ukashata, and Chicane. He's now only 6 off the lead. Less than a half mile to run. The half goes in 48-3, slow down a little bit, and Bank Emblem. Lord Vic, he's on the bit and right there. Then it's Spaghetti Mouse, now re-breaking in 3rd. Sir Galovic, he'll nade a way through. Ukashata, B.R. Remark, and Chicane past the 5/16 they go. 6 furlongs, 1:13-4. And Bank Emblem now accelerates, leads it by 3/4 of a length. Spaghetti Mouse now challenges on the outside. Sir Galovic's got 3 to make up. Lord Vic, Chicane, Ukashata, B.R. Remark as they turn for home. Spaghetti Mouse with the lead. Down the lane they come. Spaghetti Mouse now by a half. Bank Emblem, 2 back to Sir Galovic. It's Spaghetti Mouse, Bank Emblem, and Sir Galovic. Spaghetti Mouse to win the Longden 6000. Bank Emblem 2nd. Sir Galovic 3rd, and Lord Vic 4th.
The pace was pretty slow because Dave, I know he's having a hard time to slow his horses down, and his horse looked like he's going in a 2 minutes leg. And my horse, I can tell how fast I'm going, but I know because I'm fighting with him, and it's hard to tell when you're fighting with a horse. But I can see the horse inside of me, and he was going to put his low, so I know we're in a good pace.
It was great to see you guys not let the favorite through.
Yeah, well, it's just the way they race it up, you know, which just happens to get the pin the inside horse, and that happens.
This is a stake win.
It's a stake win. It's, you know, he's training so well, and we're so happy with the way he's been training. Get him relaxed for this race, and that's the best, you know, relaxed we could get him, and he just performed for us today.
Don't go away. The Sport of Kings will be right back.
Today on our Vancouver Province Salute to the Champions, once again, Lady Luck stepped in, and she wasn't with Big Brown. You watched it? Let's see it again. Once again, upset in the making.
The Salute to the Champions is brought to you by the Province Sports, where you can read Tommy Walski's column, Hoss Talk, every Friday. The Province Sports, it all starts here.
And they're off in a 30-year quest for the Triple Crown, and doTERRA, wasting no time, is racing to the front, and Kent Desormeaux is going to keep Big Brown not far behind as they move into the clubhouse turn. Tail of Akati has some early speed today. He's right up on the lead now, running in 3rd position. Anak Nakal is surprisingly close. He's now 4th. And Kent DeSorma now trying to guide his horse off the rail and out of harm's way. He's third, just a bit off the rail now. And it's 2 lengths back, and Aknakal runs along in 4th position. He's taken to an inviting opening on the inside. A break of 5 lengths back to Macho again, who now runs in 5th. Dennis of Cork is 6th, about 10 lengths from the lead, followed by the maiden Guadalcanal. Reddy's Echo lingering at the back of the pack early on. Ichabod Train trails the field as they make their way around that vast clubhouse turn here at Belmont Park. It's doTERRA leading. Tale of Ataki is second, and on the outside, Big Brown. Big Brown is third after an opening half mile in a sensible 48 1/5 seconds. So Kent DeSorma waits. He waits with Big Brown on the outside third. Anaknakal just in behind him. And then it's a big chasm about 8 lengths back to Dennis of Cork, who runs along a distant 5th. They're midway down the backstretch run. The leader is still doTERRA. Tale of Ataki right there second. DeSorma waits. DeSorma waits in third with Big Brown on the outside. 3/4 in 1:12 4/5 seconds. 5 furlongs to go in the 140th Belmont. Anaknakal remains in 4th position. A break of 5 lengths. Macho again moves into 5th. Ichabod Crane is launching a bit from 6th. Around the far turn, a half mile to go in the Belmont. The leader is still doTERRA. doTERRA's opening up on the field now. He's opened up a 3-length lead. Tale of Ataki is second. Big Brown is third. Kent DeSorma's asking him, but he's still third. 3 furlongs to go. And in the meantime, it's doTERRA who's opening up, and Big Brown is plummeting as the field turns for home in the Belmont Stakes. doTERRA's opened up a 5-length lead, and Big Brown has been eased at the top of the stretch. They're coming into the final furlong. doTERRA is the leader by 5 lengths here. Dennis of Cork trying to reel him in with 1 furlong to go, and doTERRA ducks out. Now he ducks in, desperate for the final 16th of a mile, but he's going to do it here. Here's a shocking wire-to-wire win in the Belmont Stakes at 38 to 1. It is doTERRA.
Okay, that's it for this edition of the Sport of Kings. And once again, on behalf of everyone here, we would like to say thank you for allowing us to spend this last half hour with you on this Saturday morning. One thing to leave you with, remember, you have to keep them straight. And Archie?
Or we'll catch you on the final turn.
Got it.